This presentation is an overview of the Arizona Labor Department, including the structure of the department and its main functions. The Labor Department is responsible for enforcing the Arizona labor laws under Title 23 of the Arizona Revised Statutes. The department's mission is to serve the workers and employers of Arizona by conducting thorough, expedient, and impartial investigations for 6 main programs. There are 2 main units within the Labor Department, which is the Intake Unit and the Investigation Unit. The intake specialists or support staff within the Intake Unit perform a variety of functions such as reviewing the complaint to ensure that all required fields were completed, researching and identifying the correct legal business name of the employer, preparing the case file for the investigator, and sending the initial notice letter to the employer, informing them that a complaint was filed against their business. The intake support staff are also responsible for sending any payments received from the employer to the claimant, answering inbound phone calls and emails, processing inbound mail and returned mail, assisting with walk-in customers, and sending the final decision letter to the parties after the investigation is complete. The intake unit support is what allows investigators to focus solely on investigating. The investigation unit is responsible for investigating the complaints. Investigators collect and analyze evidence, research the statutes and rules, and make determinations based on those findings. They also provide education to the employers and often work with both parties to mediate a settlement. On average, the Labor Department has 6 fully cross-trained investigators to investigate complaints for all 6 programs across the state of Arizona. An investigation is typically initiated from a claim or complaint, often filed by employees, against their current or former employer. The Labor Department receives an average of 400 complaints per month, or nearly 5,000 per year. The largest program investigated by the Labor Department is unpaid wages, also referred to as wage claims, which consist of 80% of the department's workload due to the volume alone. Wage claims are filed by workers for not receiving the agreed-upon wages, or wages being withheld or deducted from their pay. During a wage claim investigation, the labor investigator will identify the agreed-upon wages, determine the wages earned based on that agreement, compare to the wages paid, and if a difference is discovered, the investigator will award the wages to the claimant. If the employer does not appeal nor pay, a judgment can be collected for 3 times the amount of unpaid wages. Unlike the wage claim, that may award monetary compensation for unpaid wages, the payment compliance complaint is an education-based program to which the labor investigator educates the employer of the Arizona wage payment laws, such as the requirement to establish prescribed pay dates, and, in most circumstances, having at least 2 pay dates per month, no more than 16 days apart. The department also sends the employer education material and resources and requests a signed acknowledgement page be returned to the department. Proposition 206, a voter initiative referred to as the Fair Wages and Healthy Families Act, passed in 2016 and became effective on July 1st of 2017. The Labor Department investigates 3 programs for compliance with the Fair Wages and Healthy Families Act, which includes earned paid sick time, minimum wage, and retaliation. Earned paid sick time and minimum wage investigations consist of ensuring the employer is providing and paying Arizona sick time and Arizona minimum wage, as well as ensuring compliance with the posting and record-keeping requirements of the Act. During the investigation, the labor investigator will identify if the claimant is owed for unpaid sick time or minimum wage, and if so, the claimant will be awarded the amount of unpaid sick time or minimum wage, a penalty equal to twice the underpaid wages, and interest on the original amount owed. Essentially, the claimant is awarded more than 3 times the original amount owed. In addition to the claimant's wages, the labor investigator may also assess a civil penalty for non-compliance with the Arizona sick time or minimum wage laws in the amount of $250 for the first violation and $1,000 for any subsequent or willful violation pursuant to law. The Labor Department also investigates any retaliation that an employee may have suffered by the employer as a result of exercising protected sick time and/or minimum wage rights. Retaliation can be in the form of a threat, unfavorable job duties, reduction in hours, demotion, suspension, termination, or any other adverse action that occurred for exercising protected sick time or minimum wage rights. These 3 programs combined currently consist of about 14% of the department's workload. However, the number of retaliation claims has tripled in the past 5 years and continues to increase each year. During a retaliation investigation, the labor investigator must determine if the adverse action occurred as a result of exercising protected sick time or minimum wage rights, and if so, a findings and order is issued awarding the claimant an amount that compensates them for any financial loss. and an amount to deter future violations, but the amount awarded cannot be less than $150 for each day that the violation continued. The labor investigator may also direct the employer to cease and desist from further retaliatory action. Within the prior 12-month period, the Labor Department awarded over $700,000 for retaliation violations. The average award was $17,000, and the highest was $87,000, considering only the decisions issued in the prior 12-month period. The Labor Department also regulates the employment of minors to ensure safe and age-appropriate equipment and occupations, as well as ensuring that youths under the age of 16 are working within permissible hours. Although youth labor is one of the department's smaller programs, in terms of volume, the violations are typically more severe, sometimes resulting in serious injuries, losing limbs, or even in some cases death. Like any other program, a youth labor investigation is initiated by a public complaint. However, the department also works with the ICA Claims Division to identify workers' compensation claims involving youths that were injured on the job and initiates an investigation based on that referral. If the labor investigator concludes that a youth was working in, about, or in connection with prohibited equipment or occupations, or working beyond the permissible hours, a cease and desist order is issued, with a maximum penalty of $1,000 pursuant to Arizona Revised Statutes 23-236. Besides investigating, the Labor Department has additional duties, which is to process public records requests for the division, prepare case files for the appeal process, participate and testify during hearings, and complete the billing forms for the accounting division to collect on civil penalties. The Labor Department will also refer case files to the Legal Compliance Unit for verification of workers' compensation coverage, refer youth labor injury violations to the Claims Division to potentially increase the benefit amount for the youth's workers' compensation payment, and certifying records for the claimant to collect judgments. The Labor Department plays a vital role in enforcing labor rights and workplace protections in the state of Arizona. By enforcing the laws, educating the public, and resolving employer-employee disputes, the department ensures Arizona's workforce is treated with fairness and integrity.